Hey guys, this is the third match in a Shadows over Innistrad draft. We're 2-0 with our blue-black zombie deck with Diagraph Colossus and other cool stuff in it. Unfortunately, though, my recorder crashed after recording the first two games of this match, which, spoiler alert, lets you know there'll be a third match. So I guess you can fast forward to that if you want to, but you can see what happened in the first two matches and find out my commentary on it after the fact. Unfortunately, this isn't live. Third match will be live. It'll be on the end of this. It'll all be edited together, so you won't have to switch videos or anything. But anyway, this is the first game in the match, and we kept this hand. It's a little slow and clunky, but we like that we have one of our win conditions in our Scob, and the Mangler and removal is good. So our opponent leads with an Heirloom, as we can see. Plays a Wicker Witch on turn 3. I decide that's enough of a problem that I decide to play Stitched Mangler. Drew my Asylum Visitor, though, which is nice. And then he Fiery Tempers my Mangler, which for the most part I don't mind. It's, use of removal that could have been used more effectively on other creatures since the Mangler already got a big chunk of its value. Now I play my Scob. And then my opponent aggressively Rabid Bites the Scob, which means he's going to crack in for 4. So what I do here, because I have Asylum Visitor in my hand, can I zoom in on it? Yeah, I can on the recording. Asylum Visitor has Madness, so I play a land and pass the turn because I can get my Scob back, who's over here, from my graveyard by discarding 2 cards and getting it into play. Opponent plays Solitary Hunter pre-combat, attacks with Wicker Witch, and now I activate my Stitchwing Scob's ability, bring it back from the graveyard, and cast Asylum Visitor with Madness. And I had to decide whether or not I wanted to block with my Visitor, and I chose not to. I decided that I could use Sleep Paralysis on this and start hitting my opponent for 6 a turn and trade with that at a later time with basically any card in my deck. We draw a land, and I go with the plan. I Sleep Paralysis Solitary Hunter. I swing for 6, dropping my opponent to 14. This does leave us open to more damage. I play a land. But then my opponent plays a second Solitary Hunter, and that doesn't look so good for me. I drop to 8. I do draw Thraben Gargoyle, who I can transform right away, so that it does mean I have 10 damage in the air. Because of that, I decide to attack for 3, not 10 damage, 7 damage in the air, since one of his creatures is tapped down, and I can trade with the others. Moves his Heirloom over there, and then plays Envisioner, making for a very problematic creature at 6/7. So I'm forced to chump that. Then I transform my Gargoyle at the end of the turn. I think. Yeah, there it goes. Gargoyle transforms. I get Diagraph Colossus, who is a 3/3, but he's not especially good in this situation. It does potentially keep me alive for a little longer, I think. But then he plays Talpack Resurgence and gives a second creature trample, and we're just dead. So it's too much damage. And we die. So we lose game 1. And now we'll watch game 2. All right, so now we're on game 2. This time I have a much better hand. Turn 1 Thraben Gargoyle. I have Catalog to dig. I have a Harvest hand early, which is nice as well. And then I drew a Stitchwing Scob, but obviously I play my Gargoyle first. And then I play a land. He plays another Wicker Witch, and we draw Explosive Apparatus. I play Harvest hand here, thinking that it's a good trade with the Witch. Opponent plays Crawling Sensation, which is interesting. You don't normally see that in a green-red deck, but it made me think maybe he has some rares that have Delirium, because red only has 2 cards with Delirium, one at uncommon and one at rare. And green does have several, but we didn't see any in game 1, so I was kind of surprised by that. We swing with our Harvest hand, offer up that trade. Opponent takes it, which we're pretty happy with. I mean, it gives him half of Delirium, but it gives us a piece of equipment. We play land, and we play our Scob, so we can start attacking in the air. Opponent whiffs on hitting any insect tokens, and then we attack for 3 in the air. And we play our Crow of Dark Tidings. doesn't mill any of our guys that come back from the graveyard. But then we play our apparatus as well. So our opponent is mana screwed, puts that on Kessig, whatever, Forge Master, I guess. I decide to kill it with my apparatus, and I just swing for 5. Drops our opponent down to 12. This time he does manage to get an insect token, but luckily we have Tooth Collector in our hand. Solitary Hunter is big, but we equip our Scob, meaning we now have a 2-turn clock on our opponent. He has 1 turn left. And then we play Tooth Collector in our second main phase, which shrinks down kills the insect. Our opponent mills himself again, hits another land to get an insect, but he's dead to damage in the air, and he realizes that and scoops. So that was the second game. Third game will be live. I'll be actually playing the game as it's happening, which is what I prefer to do because I think it is a better experience for you guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if you like this better. But the third game will be live right after this, so I hope you'll enjoy that. It is the one that determines whether we go 3-0 or 2-1. Hey guys, unfortunately, I'm having problems with my recorder. I should probably download new software because it's the second time it's happened to me recently. So you saw the first 2 games of this match, but you saw them with my commentary after the fact. This third game in the match, though, is live, so it's the most important one anyway. So we would like to play first, and this is a very good keep. We have turn 1, Gargoyle, and then, some zombies, and that's what we want, I think. All right, so bring the Gargoyle down. He's been good. He has been every time I've drafted him, but today he's just shown up for me a lot, so he's like really shined. Okay, Observer, sure. Probably play my Crow before I play Mangler. Depends what my opponent does, though. Yep, definitely play Crow before I play Mangler. Alright, we did not get any of our other creatures who can come back from the graveyard in there, unfortunately. That Wicker Witch, man, that messed us up last game. I think I just play Silent Observer. I swing and play Silent Observer. Alright, we block. If he wants to use up a trick or removal here to finish off my Silent Observer. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad we have sleep paralysis. We probably won't even use it right away, though. That does take down my Observer pretty hard. We swing for 2 in the air. And then I think we play our Ghoul Steed and end our turn. I could have tapped it down or, something like that, but I think we just take this 6 and then see if we can just use, we're going to hit for 6 a turn, and we see if we can just use that to get us the win here. Sure, he has another creature. The bane of my existence, Solitary Hunter. Well, what are you going to be? You're going to be a 5/5 if I play you. So I actually think we just mangle the Wicker Witch for now, since the 3/4 cannot effectively block, and it'll hit us for less on the backswing, and then we swing for 6. If he has the 1 red mana combat trick, we haven't seen it yet, so it would be surprising, but he may have it. That would be a little ugly. All right. Opponent goes to 10. We have Sleep Paralysis and Masterpiece in our hand. Masterpiece can really get us there. I mean, he's going to be huge, won't die to most removal. Even a Rabid Bite won't do it after Solitary Hunter transforms. So if we can transform this too, like in the near future, then that's awesome. Ooh. Yeah, that's going to hurt. So our opponent went deep on these auras, and it's pretty good against us. We do have 2 bounce spells, but we don't have a whole lot of great removal. Not attacking, though, so that's good. Okay. If I go Sleep Paralysis and swing for 8, he swings back for 12 and almost kills us. But we can block with our Gargoyle. So I think that's what we do. So he's dead to our Crow in the air next turn. We block this thing no matter what, his Wicker Witch. Just because the off chance he gives it trample or any number of things, which these colors can do. Although I guess red is the only one with tricks that do it, interestingly. Right, there's the Hunter. That's interesting and a little disconcerting. So we just drew a land to help our Gargoyle transform. There's not a card that can kill both our flyers and keep him alive. So I think we just go for it with both our flyers. He can block one of them, maybe. Oh, removal in response? Yeah, that's not going to do it either, because you're at 2. So we get there, and we go 3-0. Nice. All right, well, we went 3-0. Was a good draft. I wasn't as confident that our deck would be as good as it was, but it definitely, enough zombie synergies and discard synergies really paid off, so the deck was pretty good. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.